Well, there's just too much to unpack from this game. There's just too much. I mean, if I'm going to talk about everything, we'll stay here for more than 1 hour. But I'll try to just talk to the things because this is one of those games where you just know, and I've said it every other time that we are always the Father Christmas of teams. Whenever a team is going through a bad period, we always come through for them. We always come through to give them some points, to give them some way to recover, to save jobs. And I'm sure now we are saving Amorim's job and just saving everybody. Now, let me just start to unpack from the coach. First, I thought the squad was decent. My only issue, and the issue that I've been talking about from the start of the season, just after the Crystal Palace game, because after the Crystal Palace game, that Crystal Palace game was when we had a Champong playing at the mid and he became the man of the match. Now, I'm taking this thing slowly. You'll just stay with me. He became the man of the match, and from that time until now, he has not played. And I'm not just talking about changing the personnel. I'm talking about somebody making a mistake, repeating the same mistake, repeating the same mistake after mistake after mistake, and is not getting subbed, is not getting replaced. The message that as a coach you pass to the other players is that any person can still be making mistakes, but you'll still keep on playing because probably we don't have enough players in the team, or probably the players that we have in the team do not matter. And if you'll at least come to us and say and tell us that, we feel a Champong is not ready because he's gotten an injury, or because he's not a much fit, or because he has made this and this and these mistakes, we will have understood. We will have, I will have understand. I will have, and like right now, I will not be questioning it. Like I've said it and I've given example in the previous games when, like last season, when we needed somebody to replace Jackson and we saw how Nkunku played and we were satisfied. We were saying like, you know what? If Nkunku is playing this way, then we might as well just be having Jackson. And next season we should be going to the market. And I think this was the case. This has been the case for our defensive unit this season. I've said it. I've said it during Brentford's game. I've said it during Bayern Munich game. I'm still saying it now that our issue with the is like they're playing to the best of their ability. I haven't seen either Tosin or Chaloba not like just trying their best. I haven't looked at them play in the game and felt like they were not trying. I just feel they're trying to the best of their ability. The problem is that sometimes you might try something, but the quality that you have is not up to par. Like you might be doing everything with your might, with your tenacity, with energy, with everything. You might be putting your heart into something, but then you just are not there yet. And we don't blame you. We don't blame you. Like even today, our first goal and the red card were because the red card, it was because Chaloba was putting all his heart there in to win a header, but then it just backfired. It went behind her and he was the last person. And now you have Sanchez with 2 goals. And people have been blaming Sanchez that is the cause for that red card and the cause for this defeat. But I'm saying that he shouldn't be solely be blamed. He shouldn't be blamed solely on that red card. He was given zero options. Like the only option was to either consider goal or to try and save that goal. And sometimes when you are playing, you don't have that quick analysis to think that if I attack this ball, I might not win it and I'll cause a penalty. Sometimes it's just, it just happens. It's like muscle memory. Now, I'm still talking about Maresca. As much as we have talked about this defensive issue over and over and over again, this was one game which I thought he was trying to change, and his other option was to put Chalobah there and Fofana. Maybe it was just trial and error, and it did not work. It did not work. There was nobody there who just settled the game. Chalobah was not settling the game. This other side, Fofana was not settling the game, and Man United were pressing us every other second. And that's why, for the first 20 or 30 minutes, we were unable to settle, even after Tosin was subbed in. And this is the thing, I was questioning, especially when we had Potter, when we had Pochettino, if the coach felt something when we lost. Like if the coach at some point felt that he felt, like as fans, we usually go through it when we lose a game, when we lose points, when we lose a game. To some extent, I felt that sometimes some coaches are just, working to save their jobs. They don't feel it. They don't feel that defeat. They don't feel like, what, I should have won this game. It doesn't hurt them. It doesn't bring the emotions to them. So that's why they keep on just approaching this whole thing like it's just another game. But sometimes it's not the other game. It's just not another game to us. And I think this game showed me to some extent that Maresca really felt. I think he really felt first the red card, then the goal. Like he really felt. And I could tell from the quick emotional substitutions. Like just taking everybody and putting in. That's how we usually behave when we want to win something, and it's probably esports. Some people usually say that's not a good comparison, but I'm just saying emotions is emotions. And when you are emotional, sometimes you don't think, just act. And I think this was one case which it was a good thing for me to see, like somebody just getting hurt, a coach getting hurt because something is happening on the field. Sometimes people just don't get hurt. I felt Pochettino was not getting hurt with every other game. I felt Maresca even last season was not getting hurt for some of the decision he was making and some of the losses we were going through. But that's just that one case. First thing is that probably why don't we have Acheampong? Are these the only options for CB? Even today, he was not even in the subs. Should we expect that there will be some change? Should we see Acheampong probably in League Cup? If he performs well, will he convince Maresca that he needs to play in Champions League, in Premier League? That's first. The second thing I'm unpacking is that I think this is one of those games where we have seen the qualities that Reece James has, but Maresca and the team has not been using. We have been playing Reece James in a position where we think other people could have played better. We have played Reece James in a position where we think Andre Santos could have played better. Enzo could have played better. Like where we wanted Reece James, where we thought Reece James used to perform so good. The reason why we used to tell the reason why we used to tell the world, or we told everybody that Reece James is the best right back in the world, is because of the crosses. The reason why we used to say that is better than Trent is because of those crosses, like the pinpoint, heavy driven, like hard driven crosses that they just need somebody to head in to get a goal. We have not seen it for a very, very, very long time. It has only come to this position where we are struggling, where we have no option, where we can't sub anybody in, anybody out. That's when we are seeing those qualities. And I'm so sure Maresca will be seeing these qualities in the training pitch. Why does he always have to be forced? Why do we, and it's not like we are just, how some people usually say you are just a desk mate. A desk, a desk, I don't know what's the word. Like a desk coach. Is it really a word? But people who usually coach from, a desk, very opinionated. But sometimes I'm just saying, probably we see things that the manager does not see. Like sometimes we see things and the manager might be working from a point of skillness, like he's probably feeling he has, better judgment than most of us. When sometimes, well, some of the things we judge might be wrong, other things we judge are right. And when we say sometimes it's just good to put your top players in the positions where they can influence the game, you put your top players in their right position and you wait. That's why I think like Reece James should be put in a place where we are able to see his best qualities. Even if he's put there for 30 minutes, for 60 minutes, if he's managing time that Maresca is doing, I think that's what Chelsea fans deserve. That's what we deserve. That's what we need to see. And not just Reece James. I think everybody. If we have Caicedo playing in this position and is doing so well, put him there. If you have a Champong playing in this position and is doing so well, put him there. If you have Neto playing in this position and is doing it well, put him there. Now, I've said it. While I appreciate the emotional substitution, I wouldn't want them to be repeated again. I appreciate because I felt like Maresca was getting hurt and he needed to change, and sometimes that's what, as a person who's like minded, rational, you have to do. But probably that should not be the case in the other games, because probably if we had people who could influence the game, I don't know how much it would have cost. Like probably if we left there Palma, or if we left there Estevao, probably we don't make Casemiro get a red card. And now the whole game we will be struggling for the entire 90 minutes. Now the change might have helped the team get back. But then sometimes because we made a lot of substitutions and probably we just needed somebody in those late minutes that is used to scoring, that we can depend on, that we can use as a conduit for the attack to like really engineer our comeback. But it fell flat, and I'm not blaming that on Maresca. The only thing I'm blaming on Maresca is that he has left a Chapong without, like, he was the man of the match versus Crystal Palace, and Crystal Palace is among the top 4 teams. Why can't he play versus Man United if he was the man of the match versus Crystal Palace? You see where I'm coming from? Now, the other thing I'm trying to unpack is that I know a lot of people have been talking about the Enzo Caicedo Santos situation. And while I think from my third point, when I said put players where they can influence the game, like where we can see their qualities. How we play is that we usually have probably a CDM and a pseudo CDM. It's like a pivot, but the other one usually goes in front in Enzo, which means we always have or we always need an attacking midfielder. And for some games, Palma has been playing there. For other games, Pedro has been playing there. Now, whether we choose between Enzo and Santos, I don't know. I don't think. I think I've seen certain games like the Bayern Munich game where Enzo, just watching Enzo was doing running box to box, going in front, coming back, doing the things that doing the those simple things that people don't think usually matter. But then I've seen also Andre Santos just create chances from nothing. It's the reason why Casemiro got the red card. It's the reason why we were able to settle in the game. And sometimes I think that probably there is this sense of confidence that we give a player that we think that this game, even if Enzo started, probably we need this person to come in and give him 30 minutes, give him 40 minutes, let him influence the game, let him show his qualities. You can always find time to have a game where you have Enzo, you have Caicedo, you have Santos, and they're playing 60, 70 minutes together. Other times you just have Caicedo and Santos playing 60, 70 minutes together. Other times Enzo, Caicedo playing 60. Like, that's up to the coach. But we need to see these players because they have shown that they can do something to play certain games. Like this game, which we had a lot of, we couldn't settle in the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And when Santos comes in, everything just settles. It's because he knows how to maneuver himself around pressure. Is press resistant. Those are the other qualities. But I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about Enzo. No, Pedro, Joe Pedro, playing as an attacking midfielder, vis-a-vis playing as a striker. Whenever he played as an attacking midfielder, he was able to influence the game much more. And I know right now we don't have a striker. Like, he's the only remaining striker in the club. So probably he's given the mandate to press. But whenever he plays there, I don't know. I don't think the first teams we met, like Crystal Palace, which is the second team we met, when you compare it to the teams we are meeting right now, like the three teams we have met, Brentford, Bayern Munich, and Man United, I don't think that there has been a shift in quality to a point where Pedro cannot influence the game. I just think that us putting him in front there without having people to probably supply him with headers, create other conduits for, trying to put pressure on the defenders to just leave him space. Like, sometimes just give him space. And I said it in my preview for this game. I said it that if we were going to let Enzo play as a striker, we should probably have somebody to at least back him up. Somebody who can even offer more, threat to the defender so that the defenders just don't settle. In this game, the defenders like really, really settle until the last minute when they were defending the lead, which shouldn't be the case. Now, for the players, I'm still blaming. I still think Chaloba. And this is the thing. Like, as I've said, he's doing so well within himself. He's showing tenacity, showing the energies, putting everything work, but just the quality. And now, because he has scored the goal, you know, everything will be forgotten. Scoring the goal versus West Ham, now scoring this goal, now everybody will think that, let's just cancel the defensive, you know, the defensive mistakes that probably makes. And then again for Tosin. And for Fofana again is not going to play. I think he has been doing so well in left center back. But we need a CCB who can just settle the game. We need a CCB who can just make the game just feel like who can handle the pressure so that Sanchez will not be trying to save every other goal. And I think Achiampong has done that versus Crystal Palace. I don't know just how well he will do versus any other team, but I want Maresca to put somebody there. With Chaloba, with Tosin, I don't know. We probably need another CB, but up to January it will be a very, very, very long time. It will be a very, very long time. And it's not like I'm saying that these players are bad. I'm just saying that the qualities they have, the errors they make are costing us. And if you are going to compete, we can't be making all these errors after every other game. It's not feasible. It's not feasible. We can't be losing all these points unless we just want to be mediocre, unless we just want to be a mid-table team. That's when we will accept, like, let's keep making all these mistakes, let's keep losing all these points. It doesn't matter. But if you want to compete, if you want to be at the top, then we have to find people who do not make mistakes, like people like Liverpool, Van Dijk, people like Konate. Like, it takes a while before you see them making mistakes. And if we are making mistakes, we should be able to make mistakes because we were attacking. We were attacking and then they were countering. So that it's like, yeah, we are getting scored 2, but we scored 4. Let it not be what we have seen today, because this is sad. This is not working. This is not working for us. These are 2 defeats back to back. And I know people will blame the red, but I'm telling you, before the red, we were still having those pressure. Like, we were still having those pressure after pressure after pressure. Like, the reason we get that mistake is because, we were not handling the pressure so well. Like, it's a long ball. A person going to heads back. And then after that, it's just, but even before that, it was pressure. And we are so lucky that Man United do not have like strikers who can just bury a team. If there was Haaland in that game in the first 20 minutes, we'll be talking about 4-0. You know how Man City used to beat us anyway. Nice day, man. Fucking drooling day.